I was helping my daughter study last night for the Virginia Standards of Learning exam, so I recognize that's above your concern, your level of authority, but I didn't know who to raise my concern to, because usually I cook and my husband assists my children with their homework, but I was feeling a little under the weather, so we reversed roles last night, and I saw that what they were teaching my child was that the status of early Africans was unknown, and that they were probably slaves or servants. As a HBCU graduate who knows better, although I lived in Prince William County, I attended Thomas Jefferson High School, so I was not a product of Prince William County schools, but it's one thing to say, we're not going to cover that. It's another thing to lie to my child and say that their history is unknown and that they were probably servants or slaves before they came to America. And I feel like part of this miseducation is the reason for our current country's climate. And the fact that if my child gives an answer other than what's on that paper, that she's considered wrong. So how do I educate my child and teach her that her history is powerful, that her history is amazing, and what her classmates are learning or what they carry with them when they become senior leaders, executives, and feel that it's beneath them to promote someone above them because their ancestors were just slaves, were servants. Right now, I'm working in the CIA as the chief of a group within the Diversity and Inclusion Office, and I'm fighting these battles every day to change minds, to change hearts, to change unconscious bias, because they're not unconscious, they're taught at this age to our children and their classmates. And I don't know what can be done about that, but I figured I'd start with you all. Because I have 3 babies, 9, 10, and 11, in Prince William County schools who are being shaped for their future.
In the struggle.
The Works Barbershop at 525 North Santa Fe in Pueblo, Colorado, specializing in men's and kids' cuts, located prominently in the front office of the Pueblo Works building. Come let Master Barber Amanda and her staff treat you to an all-inclusive custom cut experience, including beard sculpting, fresh cut, and classic straight razor work. Let the pros at the Works Barbershop hook you up with the works. Everything you need to get you out the door looking your best. The Works Barbershop, the official barber, a 2-time Renegade champion, the livest Mex Flex in the Mexican nation.
I'm talking the shit. Hit the little bitch that I send me a pic. She picking the tip at the back of the whip. She already know I'm as red as it gets. I'm taking a sip of the potion. I feel it already in your mouth.
Indeed, indeed. You in tune to the Focus TV One Network, the review show. Got your man Teflon, the creator Taylor, filling in for Jwritezz. He had a little technical difficulty earlier, so that's why we're kind of coming on a little bit later. In the building, my man 52, 5280 JB, live from Aurora, Colorado. Why don't you say hello to the people, JB?
What's good, world?
Indeed, indeed. Let's jump on into it. So growing up in Denver, Colorado, why don't you tell the people a little bit? We kind of for the ones that don't know you, we're gonna kind of paint the picture right here. Tell the people how it was growing up in Denver, Colorado.
Shit. Seen a lot of changes, through the years, especially it's it's a different city now. Going through different schools and different areas of the city, you know what I mean? When I was growing up, really wasn't in one spot too frequently until I became a teenager. So it wasn't too bad. I lived in a couple of I lived in the Westwood projects when I was a kid. Lived in the Westridge projects, and I also lived in New York too when I was a little kid. My mom's from New York. Moved out here when I was a little kid, or was born out here, moved out to New York for a few years, and came back here in second grade. And I've been out here ever since.
Most definitely, most definitely. So you had a little taste of that East Coast, huh? So a little bit of the East and a little bit of the West. Okay, most definitely, most definitely. So what was the greatest? What was one of your greatest memories as a youngster?
Uh, Remember, I used to go. My grandparents had a house in Florida, so in the summers I used to go down there and go stay in Florida with my grandparents and go to the beach and do all those kind of things. From up here is a landlocked state, so there's no beaches. No, you can swim in maybe a lake or a river or a pool, but it's nothing like swimming in some warm ocean water. So that's probably one of my best memories as a kid.
Most definitely, indeed, indeed. Out there in Florida, most definitely out there on the beaches. Yeah, I know it's nice. I mean, I'm one of the few probably that have never been to a beach. I didn't see it on TV and everything else, but never been to a beach. You know, like I said, we kind of just painting the picture, kind of giving the listeners, the viewers, a little, kind of give them a idea of 52J. I mean, I'm gonna get it right, 5280 JB. So as a youngster, let's take it. Let's go up, move up in time a little bit. Around the age of 17 years old, what was life like?
Uh, Man, I was probably thugging it pretty hard at that time. You know what I mean? I was starting to try to like freestyle and get some shit going because I knew some people that had a tape out, and that kind of inspired me to do a little bit what I was doing. But back then it was really hard to get in the studio, so that's when I first like got a taste of even starting to write. But I was out there just thugging it up, and 'cause I was locked up a few years prior as a juvenile for like 2 years, and so I missed a lot. So I was just like getting used to like being out again. I had just got out when I was 16. So I was just really, getting fresh to being out and just like enjoying, freedom. I tried to be in school for a minute, and that just felt like another program. Like I was just locked up again, or like I had to listen to somebody's rules all day and be locked down in a place and couldn't leave. I just wasn't ready for it no more. And just, I just gave up on that school at the time and started, just doing my own thing, hustling. And that's when I really started, just like becoming the person that I was going to be for, you know what I mean? Or thought that, I thought I was going to be for a while, when I first really started getting my toes wet.
Indeed, indeed, most definitely. So yeah, you was you was in the juvenile center as a youngster, around 15 or so to the age of 17. I mean that was a nice segue into my next question. So I mean, that kind of told me a little bit, but when did you decide? That's when you decided to do the music, and I mean, what other who influenced you? What other influences did you have? Was it some artists that you were listening to on the radio, or was it some individuals that was around within your hood, or uh, what happened during that
Well,
time?
it was so I was when I was locked up, I was getting out on they're letting me go home like a few weeks before I was getting out to get, you know what I mean, a taste of the thing, see if I was gonna act up, see whatever. I actually served 22 months of a 24-month sentence, so they let me out a couple months before my sentence was over. So that's why they're just like, you know what I mean, let me go home a little bit and see what's up, because this was juvenile, mind you, and but in that juvenile place, the homie Young Doe, he's from Colorado, he's from Montbello out here. He be doing a pretty damn big, and
Indeed.
he had a little studio up in there. He had a little keyboard, and it wasn't too much. I think it was a keyboard, a mic, and I don't know if it was a mixer or if he was recording off a computer at the time, or it was some kind of. This was this was back in like 1997, so this was even before, like, I think they were even like recording off computers. I think he was like recording directly into a sound bank on his keyboard, if I'm not mistaken. And so I seen him. Then I was going out on these passes, seeing people, and my relative, he had a group, and they had a CD out, or it was actually a compilation, Concrete Poetry, and that was one of the first. That was actually the first compilation that I heard from Colorado, and had a bunch of tight artists at the time on there, including like the Rap Old Trues and Glock 9 and AWB, and I want to say G Some. These are some old school cats. Some of them don't rap no more. Some of them do, like the Trues and G Some. And so I got a taste of that. So that's what really kind of like kick started it off. That those two things, and it was happening at the same time. And that was a time, mind you, I was really like influenced by, like, you know what I mean, my elders or other people that I was hanging out with. You know what I mean? I was always like the younger cat in the crew, and even when I was locked up, I was like locked up, and I was like one of the youngest people in there. And so I always, when I was younger, I always wanted to do what the older cats was doing. You know what I mean? When I was like 14, 15, my homies were always older and stuff like that. So I just got influenced to do that music, kind of, you know what I mean? Got a little taste, and that's when I actually just started, picking up the pen and dibble dabbling here and there, and thinking, you know what I mean, I could do a little something. Wasn't kicking nothing yet or none, but that's when I first got my first taste of like trying to think of like, maybe this would be cool, or maybe I could try to do this one day. Or that's where I started having the dream of like, yeah, that'd be cool to have a tape out. It was tapes right back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Some
most
people had some
definitely.
CDs, but we're still rocking them tapes.
Them tapes, yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember them days. So, yeah, that's s- so were you a freestyle artist back then? I mean, is that how you were doing it, or were you just kind of thinking of things and just kind of writing it down, or how was that process?
It was a little of both. I was kind of, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Had maybe one or two other homies, get a little buzz going, had a party, we start rapping a little bit, you know what I mean? And then other than that, I'd, write a little bit here and there. And then we had some studio time set up with DJ Fame, and my relative set that up. And DJ Fame was like a legendary producer from here, from Concrete Poetry. He's from Deuce Mob, the group Deuce Mob, and we had some studio time set up. Um, my relative set it up, but he ended up getting locked up, so it put like kind of a hold on everything that was going on. So, but then a couple years later, my relative touched down. We linked back up with DJ Fame, then a couple more producers, including like Frog, Rob Dog, and a couple other, local cats at the time, and we put our first album out in 2003. So this is actually my 20-year anniversary of like when my first project that was a real project, CD, shrink wrap, barcode, all that in stores, that first came out.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. I think you can you see my papers? Because man, you answered the question. I mean, I'm just looking at my questions and listening to what you're saying. It just, I mean, because I was going to ask you about your first song, where you recorded it at, and everything else. You just told us right there. You know, basically,
Yeah.
hey. So what was the name of that first song?
The first song was Denver Dippin'.
Denver Dippin'. So is it out there on YouTube, or where can
Yeah, it's
one?
actually out there, and it's got like 105,000 plays.
105,000 plays. So that was back.
And that was only uploaded, a few years back too. It hasn't been out for like that 20 years. Somebody else uploaded. I didn't even like upload it at the time. I wasn't like really using it that much at the time. And somebody else uploaded and was getting all the plays for it, and just cool. I uploaded it later, so it's on my page too. But they're the ones that got all the main plays. But that's how it goes. But I'm just glad somebody was out there and uploaded it, and a lot of people was out there bumping it, because that's like one of my classic songs that like till today people still bump and still like, it's it was a Denver anthem for a little minute there.
A Denver anthem, most definitely. So I'm gonna ask this question at the end of the show, but since we're talking about that song, most definitely legendary. We got the legendary, most definitely legendary 5280 JB in the house. What's that? Where can they? You said on YouTube. So what's the pathway? What's the I can't even think of the word. How can they find it? What do they have to type in?
Just Denver Dippin' on just YouTube, Denver Dippin' Glock 9.
Okay.
And for that's that track. If they want to check that one out, or just anything else on there, just Google 5280 JB on all platforms, and my videos are up on YouTube. My shit's on Spotify and all the other digital outlets. Amazon.
Most definitely.
All those.
So what you say? Check out your YouTube channel. What's that YouTube channel again?
5280 JB, and that's 52-80 JB, JAYB.
Most definitely go check that out. Link in, check out them videos, support my man, the legendary 5280, right here on the Focus TV1 network, the review show. Most definitely. Hey, we're gonna take a little commercial break, but after we get back, we're gonna find out a little bit about the recording process, and just some of the individuals that 5280 JB has recorded with, and a few more things that we're gonna get into right here on the review show. Again, I'm standing in for my man's Jwritezz on the Focus TV1 network. We'll be right back.
Glock, I'm cocking the shit. Hit the little bitch that I send me a pic. She picking the tip at the back of the whip. She already know I'm as red as it gets. I'm taking a sip of the potion. I feel it already in motion. that's for sure. You got it.
The Works Barbershop at 525 North Santa Fe in Pueblo, Colorado, specializing in men's and kids' cuts, located prominently in the front office of the Pueblo Works building. Come let Master Barber Amanda and her staff treat you to an all-inclusive custom cut experience, including beard sculpting, fresh cut, and classic straight razor work. Let the pros at the Works Barbershop hook you up with the works. Everything you need to get you out the door looking your best. The Works Barbershop, the official barber, a two-time Renegade champion, the livest Mexplex in the Mexican nation.
Indeed, indeed. You in tune to the Focus TV1 Network, the review show, sponsored by Healthy Lifestyle Fitness. Get fit the right way, mind, body, and soul. Powered by Focus.media. My bad. It surprised me too. I'm used to, I'm doing the other side in the control room. I was just I was trying to get things ready. It kind of, the little intro got me too, so I wasn't quite ready for the coming back on, but I caught it. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm standing in for my man's Jwritezz. He'll be back next week, strong with another artist, with another. Matter of fact, make this little commercial break real fast. Tim Campbell will be in the building next week. Legendary artist. Y'all need to tune in to find out more about him. But right now, we're gonna put that focus on 5280 JB, live and direct from Aurora, Colorado. So, your recording process. Take us through a session of your recording process.
It depends if I, get a beat. Say somebody sends me the beat, you know what I mean? I just, start writing it, just write to it for, sometimes a song comes to me in 15 minutes. Sometimes it'll take a day or two, you know what I mean, to get it and, get it the way I want it to be. Or it depends on if I'm just sitting there, I might be watching videos or something like that, and I have an idea. I start writing into a song that I'm listening to or something like that. Then I have to find a beat later on that's matching that tempo basically that I wrote it to. So that's where it gets not harder, but a little bit like, you know what I mean, that you just can't get any beat at that point, to the point. So where, you know what I mean, you have to make sure you get that right tempo to fit that right thing once you have a song wrote to a beat that, like, you know what I mean, maybe just writing it real quick or writing it off of something, or so depending on that, then I just, I got a little studio in my house, you know what I mean? And I just bang it out, and I go take it to the one of my homies at the Mousetrap. He got a little studio over there, actually a big studio. He does all my mixing and master, and then just, get a mix and master there. I do all the vocals and stuff like that. I just have somebody else do the mix and master that somebody went to school for it and knows what they're doing, because I know what I'm doing to a point, but I don't know, everything. So I just wanted to get the best that it could be.
Most
I
definitely.
don't want to put out no damage shit.
Most definitely. Let's give the the Mousetrap a plug. Who runs that, and where are they located?
Brian Hunter. It's off of like 38th and I want to say 38th and Fox. Yeah, that's about where 42nd and Fox, actually, right there in North Denver, right off the highway behind the old Regency Hotel.
Most definitely. So he putting in work. Most definitely. How long have that setup been there? You know.
Yeah, bro. Like I think I want to say I first recorded a song back there in 2006, and I've been kind of dealing with him since because I've dealt with a lot of studios and a lot of engineers and shit like that. And only a handful, you know what I mean, would get the job done with a good price. Some people charge a couple $100 to mix masters per song, and you know what I mean. Over there, he just charges studio time. You know what I mean. No matter what you're getting, it's studio time. No matter if he's making a beat, you're dropping vocals, he's mixing, mastering. It's just a flat studio time of $40 an hour. Flat fee. So and I've been going there for so long. I want to say that what it used to be was 25 when I first started going there, and throughout the years, it's inflation been going up, going up, going up. Actually, I have a session there coming up pretty soon, and I wouldn't be surprised if we fucking raise the price again.
Yeah, everything seems to go up. I mean, everything. I don't care what it is. I mean, was in the store a few weeks ago and I seen the little packages of gum that used to be 25, probably 5, 10, 15 cents. It was 25 the last time I seen them at one point, but now they 50 cents, for the little bitty
Yeah,
5 pieces off. And I mean, everything is going up most definitely. So, yeah, but he's still good rates, and that's a good deal that he's pushing out. As far as just he wins in the end. It sound like he's not gonna win, but he's gonna win. He's gonna make his money in the end because I mean everything. He's steady. The clock is steady ticking. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So who was some of the first artists that you done music with? Who that you dropped that first song with, or one of the first songs that you have dropped back in the day?
I want to say Buyers Hood. Buyers Hood. They're from over there. They're from West Denver, off actually Buyers Hood, and they're related to FBP Mo. He got a big song out there right now. Few big songs actually, and but yeah, that Denver Dipping song, we featured them on that song, and we were linked with them for a while, doing music with them for a while. You know what I mean? Until Phil B went to the pen, and when he got out, we just was just doing other things. But shots out to what I mean, the Buyers Hood and the FBP crew and all them.
Most definitely, most definitely. So, I have heard you mention a few different groups, legendary groups that's still around, and some that's not. So, do the radio station here in Denver, Colorado, do they support local talent? Because a lot of these artists, I really haven't heard. I'm gonna go check them out, but I haven't heard. I mean, how do they get out? Are they doing shows here and outside of Denver? I mean, how do that work?
Yeah, a lot of them. You know what I mean? There, a lot of people, get their wiggle on around here. Do shows and do all kinds of things. It's just the radio plays some songs, and I don't feel like the radio is really hating on locals or nothing like that. But they got an obligation to like play certain music to sell them ads and all that. So you know what I mean. They only have a small slot to slide locals in. You know what I mean. And that's what the actuality of it. You know what I mean. It's not up to just this DJ who wants to play it. If it was up to them, I'm sure they play a lot more and all that. But it's actually up to these people that are playing the big wigs that want certain music played, so certain audience gets attracted, so they sell all those ads. You know what I mean. When it comes down to it, and that's what how our city is. We have a couple of the stations that play some local music. You know what I mean. And even back in the day, they played actually two of my songs. They played that Denver Dipping on the radio back in the day. I had a local love uh showcase or something, like every Sunday they'd play some local songs or one local song. I forget what it was, and they do a little phone interview, and you know what I mean. We introduce the song and play the song, and that was super big to us back then. You know what I mean? Because they weren't really doing nothing like that. Then a few years later, me and my homie Score Dog had a song called "Get It Girl," and that was played on there too. So we had a couple out there back in the day, and but they're still doing a little bit here out there, and you know what I mean. But a lot of these local cats out here, you know what I mean? They're not even too local, bro, because a lot of them are touching really big numbers, you know, outside the state. Some might not be known too well out here, but with these videos that they got going on, sometimes, you know what I mean, they reach other regions, and you know what I mean, touch other fan bases, and just, you know, gain a lot of fans like that outside the city. Because, you know, ever since I've been here, you know what I mean, doing this music, and I really don't feel like a lot of the locals don't, the people that live here don't support local music that well as, like, as far as California or Texas or some of these other scenes that, you know, really blew up. Their locals really blew up, and they got real local stars that are like region stars, you know, and, you know, nationwide stars. And, you know, and Denver's really yet to have something like that. That's you know, there's big people like that, like, but I'm talking about somebody that's big, that's like known, you know, nationwide. Like we've never had somebody really like that.
Yeah, most definitely. I kind of noticed that too. Far as just the unity, you know, the unity needs to happen here in Denver, Colorado, because you have a lot of great artists of all, you know, of all genders. So, I mean, the support is needed. The support is most definitely needed, and with that support, we'll bring that artist to the forefront. Far as just that major artist, because we have major artists like yourself here in Denver, Colorado, but it's just that unity of that hating. Let me just say it like that. That's kind of they pulling each other back. They don't want to see the other person make it. Don't know if that person make it. The other one, it's gonna be a chain reaction. Then I don't know when they. You know, I'm from Texas. I'm from Dallas, so they pretty much got it together. Pretty much down that way, but you know they still working on a few things. But I mean, I see you name Texas and all that, so most definitely, you know, because it's artists coming out of them states, and it's major talent here that needs to be out. You know, trying to do our part, trying to push as much as we can, as much as they want, as individual want to support. You know, so most definitely. Built for that, the Wild Wild West, Denver's Most Wanted, the favorite song that you ever recorded. We're going to talk about all that here in a minute when we come back from this quick commercial break.
Locking the Glock, I'm cocking the shit. Hit the little bitch that I send me a pic. She licking the tip at the back of the whip. She already know I'm as red as it gets. I'm taking a sip of the potion. I feel it already in motion. Glock, I'm cocking the shit. Hit the little bitch that send me a pic. She licking the tip at the back of the whip. She already know I'm as red as it gets. I'm taking a sip of the potion. I feel it already in motion.
Indeed, indeed. You in tune to the Focus TV1 network with your man Teflon, the Creator Taylor. Excuse me there. Doing a little different, hosting the show for my man's Jwritezz, the review show. You tuned in to the review show. I don't know if I said that. Like I said, got used to doing the control in the control room. So, I thought I would step out and, step in for him and, handle business a little bit. In the building, my man's 52JB, live and direct from Aurora, Colorado. Most definitely. And the individual that's watching, Robert, I'll send you the email here in a little bit. He wants an email from us to send us some music or whatever. So most definitely we're gonna tap in with you and
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Most definitely. We'll tap in with him and send him that email. So, we'll see what he got and see if we can get a live interview with him and plus get him on that the Countdown show and review some of that music and stuff that he's coming with. Most definitely. So, your favorite song? What's the most from the first song to the last song that you dropped? What's that? What's the hottest? What's the favorite song?
Man, I mean, I got songs that I think that are, really not that some ain't, some are, I feel like maybe possibly a better song, but like I think my all-time favorite song has to be that Denver Dippin' song, just because it was really big. It was done at a time that I don't know, it was like at a moment in time that you can't get back, and it was just done at a time that it was just way different, you know what I mean, than it is now. It's just everything's so easy, so accessible to everybody. Producers are accessible, for everybody. Got to the studio, everybody can record, everybody could make a album cover on their phone, you know what I mean, everybody raps. Back then, it wasn't like that. So back then, it was really word of mouth and just hand to hand shit, because the internet, like, I didn't even have it. It was my first album, like I was saying, came out in 2003. That's when that Denver Different came out. And back then, like, I didn't even have the internet, let alone YouTube wasn't even out until like 3 years later in 2006, 2007. So, you know what I mean? I didn't even have the internet in my house till like 2007. I was still going to the library and shit like that. I wasn't even, like, you know what I mean, on that shit yet. Like, so back then it was just really, hand to hand, mouth to mouth, word of, you know what I mean, word spread that, this shit's tight, and fucking, you had to get an organic fan base back then. Nowadays, people be paying for plays and just all kinds of shit. You know what I mean, though?
Indeed. That's most definitely indeed. I know you have a large catalog out there. I mean, most definitely. One of the few artists that I know of from the Denver Metroplex that drops albums full of hits. You're not just picking this song, that song. I mean, you pretty much can just flow through the whole CD, said album, but with CDs and everything else, you can flow through the whole thing and enjoy yourself. Most definitely. So, once you tell that's real talk. That's true facts. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about that song "Built for That"?
I got the beat from Chef Premier. He's a producer from out here. I don't really know if he's really doing too much right now in local music. I think he was doing some drumming. I think doing some kind of stuff at the Nuggets game, or doing some kind of stuff like that. And works at schools teaching, like, I think, kids music and stuff like that. So I don't really know what he's really doing on the music tip, but Chef Premier got the beat from him, probably about a year ago or something like that. And I was sitting on it for a minute and hit up the homie Attack, and he's from here. He's from West Denver. I've done songs with him in the past. He was on my first solo album. Me and him got a song together called man, what was it? I forget the name of the song offhand. But it's me, him, and Score Dog on my first album. And so I've already been you know, tied in with him for a minute, you know what I mean? And I just had you know, I've been seeing him really doing it, and I've been wanting to do a song with him for a while, but I wanted to make sure, you know, that the shit was gonna be, you know, the beat was gonna be good and he was gonna be up to par, and or not him, but my shit was gonna be up to par to work with him, because you know what I mean. And in my eyes, bro's, you know, really a big artist, and one of the biggest artists from Colorado that's really on some you know, out of state shit, you know, as well as he's known here in Colorado, but he's known really well out of state. Moved out of state, and you know, took his rap career outside of Colorado, you know what I mean, doing it out there and just not keeping it local like that. So just wanted to make sure that my shit was gonna be up to par, that, you know what I mean, he wanted, you know, work with me, you know, homie or not, you know what I mean. You know, I respect a person not wanting to do something if it's not going to be right, or not going to be right for them. So, you know what I mean, I want to make sure it was right. You know, and he's down to work with it, and you know, it was good. And he dropped the verse for me and all that. You know, I did my verse, and came back, and we did the video a few months later. AA1 did the video, and we dropped that, and he's doing pretty decent. And
Most
you
definitely.
know, that was that one. But you know, shout out to Attack for, you know, blessing me with that verse on that song. Bro came through, and you know what I mean, I respect his hustle and shit like that.
Most definitely, built for that. We're finna check it out on the Focus TV One Network. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. You ain't built for that. All that tough shit, they get killed for that. Wipe your nose, the blood spill for that. Them boys real, they gon' drill for that. Just relax, yeah. You ain't built for that. All that tough shit, they get killed for that. Wipe your nose, the blood spill for that. Them boys real, they gon' drill for that. They gon' drill for that. So yeah, jump up if you want, boy, but better bring your doctor. Handle on this thing, you catch a splinter from my chop. Dog, sell it out, white and clear like it's vodka. Charge it to the game, it ain't no Skytrain, no model. The problem is, everybody around me thuggin'. You ain't built for that, boy, so I ain't out your bucket. Age of 13, I been out your dog, I'm hustling. Language ain't money shit, then why the fuck you talking? West side, mile high shit. Break the back up a dumb bitch. Wasn't born with it, gotta die rich, huh? Ain't nobody around me lame, move. Bust a brick 4 ways, cold to break the thing, move, huh? Be a pop, poppin' way before me. This Attack one, I'm acting like my OG, huh? Be a pop, poppin' way before me. This Attack one, you can call me OG. Ain't built for that. All that tough shit, they get killed for that. Wipe your nose, the blood spill for that. Them boys real, they gon' drill for that. Just relax, yeah. You ain't built for that. All that tough shit, they get killed for that. Wipe your nose, the blood spill for that. Them boys real, they gon' drill for that. They gon' drill for that. So just
Wasn't
relax.
made for this. I make the paper flip. Why you hating, bitch? I know you envy this. You know how real it get. Quit with all that tough talk, speaking with your chest out. Bitch, I got a 50, about to air this shit out. Always got it with me, in case you wanna flex now. Better keep your voice down, still ride it with the 4 pound. Ride it with the top up, about to surf the block up. The homie said to pull up, need some bullets for his chopper. Bitchin' about my guala, need every single dollar. She always bringing drama, only hit her when I wanna. I always do it proper, I twist it then it lock her. My rap is still a lockup, and I pray to God he watches. Don't focus on the bullshit, suckers try to pull shit. Your name it got a bullet, when I pull it they gon' miss you.
You ain't built for that. All that tough shit, they get killed for that. Wipe your nose, the blood spill for that. Them boys real, they gon' drill for that. Just relax, yeah. You ain't built for that. All that tough shit, they get killed for that. Wipe your nose, the blood spill for that. Them boys real, they gon' drill for that. They gon' drill for that. So just relax.
like to say, I got to get used to being on this side, you know, a little slip up, you know, but I get it together. Most definitely, you're in tune to the Focus TV One Network, the review show with your man's Teflon, the creator Taylor standing in for Jwritezz, the musical poet. He'll be back next week doing his thing. I'll be back doing my thing behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying, making it happen. Most definitely, we have 5280 JB live and direct in the building from Aurora, Colorado, right down the block from the station. So you know, most definitely, we intact, not too far from each other. So the Wild Wild West, I like that. You know, I remember that title back from I'm old school, from Cool Mo D. So when I seen that, I said I gotta check that out, and it's jamming. We're gonna check that out too. Tell the people a little bit about the Wild Wild West.
For the Denver's Most Wanted, he's dropping the 20-year anniversary edition or anniversary CD for Denver's Most Wanted, and I want to say it's the 10th CD, maybe the 11th, but he's dropping that. So he approached me. He's like, "Hey, I want to get some of the homies from the West Side, you know what I mean, on this track, you know what I mean." So I was like, "Yeah, I'm with it." And he got a couple other people on the track, including the homie Alizé. He's a younger cat from the West Side. D.A. Dub, and the homie Ice Mac. And my homie Ice Mac actually had a CD with him back in the day, like probably I want to say my third CD. We had like a little CD together we put out. You know, we put our money together, put a little CD together, and dropped it together. And you know what I mean? So I was tied in with him, and you know, just we got together, did this song, and you know what I mean. It's a wrap. Hopefully, we're gonna do a video to it pretty soon.
Most definitely, the Wild Wild West, the Focus TV One Network. Like I said, we're finna check that out.
Wild Wild West.
Yeah, it's that new Denver's Most Wanted shit.
Wild
Put it
Wild
down
West.
to the Mile High West Side. Yeah, JB,
Wild Wild West.
Alizé, D.A. Dub,
Most definitely a
Ice
hit
Wild
Man.
Wild West.
on the Focus TV One Network with your man Teflon, the creator Taylor.
Wild Wild West.
I'ma do it for my city. Keep it toolie with me and I'm known to keep it litty. Candy on the Chevy and it cost a pretty penny. Like flossing all this fatty, finna pull up when you're ready. From the 16th block to the 7th Ave. All of my niggas are getting hella bags. Fuck the mother suckers doing hella bad. Hating on a real one getting hella cash. We fucking with the buster cause it's funk on sight. All they do is talk or walk no bite. I'm a west sider right, I've been a dog for life. Still a mile high, mix lean with the Sprite.
Wild Wild West.
4 fingers up, 2 twisted in the middle.
Wild Wild West.
Do or die for mine, gotta grind for mine, finna slide for mine.
Wild Wild West.
4 fingers up, 2 twisted in the middle.
Wild Wild West.
Do or die for mine, gotta grind for mine, finna slide for mine.
I come from the west with bullet wounds and them gang signs. Ain't fucking with felines. We slide through your tree line, move on your me time. Cross out your peace sign when you live in the west. It's ride or die for the street signs. Slide on the poses, stomping the roaches. To live and die in the west is motherfucking atrocious. Are you looking for fame? Are you looking to bang? Cause motherfuckers on my block will die for their chain, huh? Die for them things, holding on to the reins. Leave it laying face down, leaking out in the rain. Devil dance in the lane, devil dance in the rain.
Right.
Little Red Riding Hood going out with a flame.
Wild Wild West.
Most definitely a platinum hit.
2 twisted in the middle.
Wild Wild West.
The Wild Wild West
Gotta grind for mine, finna
on the
slide for
Focus TV One Network,
Wild West.
the review show
4 fingers up,
with your
2
man
twisted in the middle.
Teflon, the creator Taylor. 52 JB and live and direct in the building. Most
Living
definitely.
in the west side. Yuppies trying to take over everything, now it's gentrified. Yes, this shit's still out of control. And if you didn't know, all you need is a story of how PJ Baka died. Big W shit, got the big W lit. 4 fingers up with the 2 middle on twist. With a smoldering mist in the nighttime on every street. For the chaos that can't be controlled, keeping the residents on their feet. My homies and hooligans, the kind of folks that will shoot again. And refuse to lend any remorse to rivals from other bands. West side motherfucker, the kind that don't come with manners. One color to the races, flying high bandanas, yeah.
Wild Wild West.
Four fingers up, two
Most
twisted in
definitely,
the
most
middle.
definitely.
Wild Wild West.
You would die for mine, gotta grind for
52
mine.
JB,
Finna slide for mine.
live and
Wild
direct
Wild West.
on the review
Four
show
fingers up, two twisted in the middle.
Wild Wild West.
You would die
on the
for
Focus
mine,
TV
gotta
One
grind
Network
for mine.
with your man
Finna slide for mine.
Teflon, the Creator Taylor.
Guarantee you ain't on my bloodline. I walk up in the west, start whistling, throwing up gang signs, and all these others dry like a hang my shirts, call it hang time. A lot of rappers drop names, like homie, better not say mine. Born up in the dubs, the little scrubs, out of Villa Park. You ain't allowed on lakes, caught up in the mix, or you been to mark. A lot of my homies posted up on that 7 block, you know the plot. I gotta throw it up, know your homies duck when they heard them shots. Hey, little homie like, what up, West? Pull up in something burgundy, base seats till the windows bleed. Ask around the west about Lil Alizé, they heard of me. I'm good in every section, but it's fuck the option, fuck you mean.
Wild Wild West.
Four fingers up, two twisted in the middle.
Wild Wild West.
You would die
definitely,
for
most
mine,
definitely.
gotta grind for mine. Finna slide for mine.
Wild Wild West.
Four fingers up, two twisted in the middle.
Wild Wild
Wild
West.
Wild
You would die
West
for mine, gotta grind
on the
for
Focus
mine.
TV
Finna
One
slide
Network with your man's Teflon, the Creator Taylor, 52 JB, live. It's 5280. Let me get it right. I'm trying to do too many things at one time. Let me get it right. I got to get that one right though. 5280 JB, live and direct in the building from Aurora, Colorado. Most definitely, most definitely. Go ahead.
I also go by JB. I had to add the 5280 because when I first started rapping, you know what I mean? Like I said, the internet wasn't what it was. You know what I mean? I was the only JB in the city doing whatever. Then started released the music. Then there's other JBs, and it was hard to decipher me before from other people when you put my name in the internet. So I had to put the 5280 later on,
Yeah.
a couple years back to just decipher me from, you know what I mean, from
Yeah.
everybody else or the other JBs. So when you put that in, just my music comes
You
up.
pop
You know what
up.
I mean? So
I
I
like.
also go by JB. So you can call me JB too,
Okay.
bro.
Most definitely, most definitely. But I dig that 5280 JB. I like that.
Yeah.
I like how you make that mix because you know what I mean, live and direct from the 5280. You know what I mean, and everybody that's from Denver, Colorado, or been to Denver, Colorado, know what the 5280 means. So that's why that's why I dig that right there. You know what I mean, you representing most definitely.
Yeah.
Putting it up and out there. So what's next for 5280 JB? What's on the menu?
Like we're releasing that Denver's Most Wanted. It's coming out in the next few months. I want to say I think May, June, and also in May. I want to say May 13th. We got a show at the Roxy. It's the Denver's Most Wanted 20-year anniversary show, the CD release party. And then I got a solo CD about to drop. It's actually untitled. It's just 5280 JB. That's going to be, you know what I mean, the title of it. And that's about to drop probably in the next couple months. And it's actually done. I'm going to get a mix and master in the next couple of weeks for that one. Then I'm putting out an album with the homie Skip Dog from First Platoon Studios, the Slap Boys. He's doing all the beats, and I'm coming with all the songs and all the lyrics. And he actually got on the. I only have a couple features on that album, actually, just so far, him and one other feature. And he just sent me the song just today, actually, and I heard it, and that shit go. He came super hard on that one because I appreciate that. Appreciate linking up with a local producer and going back to like a Colorado sound exclusively, you know what I mean? Because sometimes I, you know what I mean, go with other people, or I had a producer I used to work with out of Hayward, California, but came out here for a few years. My homie, Young Big C, he also goes by Stack Del Rio, but he'd make a lot of my beats. And then I had a couple other producers from out of state, and just the homie Science Carter would make, some of my beats, and, but I just appreciate going back to like having one album made all with the same producer and having a different, similar sound but different. You know what I mean? How like you go back to some of the older CDs back in the day, like certain producers had their own sound. Timberland had a sound, Dre had a sound. You know what I mean? These people had their sound. You know what I mean? Everyone had their own sound at the time like that, and you know what I mean? And it's always a blessing to work with a producer that got their own sound like that, and it feeling real good to work with him. Put this album out soon. It's actually called the Chop Shop Volume 1. It's gonna be a series with other like he's gonna same like what I'm doing. He's gonna be doing the beats for like other artists in Colorado and out of state too possibly. But he'll do the same kind of thing. You know what I mean, like that. Get his shit out there.
Most definitely. I heard you mention the Carter, Mr. Carter. There, he produced. You say he produced a few songs off a few of your singles.
Yeah. He produced off of my second solo CD. He produced, I want to say, probably nearly half that album, like including like a song with Mac Mall and I want to say Turf Talk and San Quinn. He do all my big shit. A song with Vita Wita, Jay Diggs from Thiz Nation, and so that was on that album. Then throughout the years, I still got some other beats from him, shit like that. Like I said, and he just did that Wild Wild West beat, and still doing that. And speaking of that Wild Wild West, though, I did the graphics for the new CD too.
Oh, okay, most definitely. Shout out to Mr. Carter. We go back from the Garden City days, kind of way back. I was trying to think of the individual that we was connected to, named Leo. Leo, I can't think of the last name, but most definitely I know that guy from Garden City, Kansas, So most definitely go back in time. So most definitely good to see him doing his thing. Most definitely shout out to him once again. You doing your thing, you putting out hit after hit, just keeping the flow. I mean, been doing it for years, you're not new to this, you're true to it, indeed. So you got any shout outs, anybody else you want to shout out to?
Shout out my son Dominic and my son Alazan, and you know what I mean, just my family and some of the other people I'm working with, my relative Vince, and my homie Dank putting on this comp, and always put me on shit like that. You know what I mean? I was on the first compilation that he put out, actually the first Denver's Most Wanted, and I've been on every single one since. So shout out to the homie Dank for always putting me on. You know what I mean? And the homie Signs. You know what I mean? A couple other homies, and I mean, just everybody that I'm working with. You know what I mean? The homie Skip and I don't know, the homie Brian and shit. And that's most about definitely. It, you know what I mean?
Most definitely. Yeah, I seen probably a few weeks ago vehicle, dipping through the streets with one of them with Denver's Most Wanted on the back window.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Then I, caught up with you, and you telling me kind of more about the Denver's Most Wanted, because I was wondering what that was all about, but now I know, most definitely. And also, we're gonna get with you. You're gonna be the star, the main character of Put the Guns Down, the movie that we producing. It's gonna get out there. It's taking time, but great things take time. Indeed, and gonna get you on the review. Not the review show. I'm gonna get you on the countdown show to kind of host with me and kind of review some of our songs and kind of review some more of your music to get it on out there. And my guy Robert, I got that message. See, you sent us a couple of songs. We're gonna check that out here in a little bit. See what you're working with. See what kind of heat you're working with. Most definitely, like I said, we're gonna be getting with you and see what we can do with you. As far as the music and just your branding and just, whatever we can do. Most definitely.
Definitely.
Yep. You're in tune to the Focus TV 1 Network, the review show with my man's 5280 JB, live and direct, powered by Focus.media, sponsored by Healthy Lifestyle Fitness. Get fit the right way, mind, body, and soul. Most definitely. It's been a pleasure. You know, it's been different for me. Like I said, I'm usually in the control room and you know, have the host doing their thing. But we had a little malfunction with the audio earlier, so we wasn't able to run the show. But you know, the show must go on. We was gonna make it happen. You know, a little late, but we were making it happen. But like I say, you in tune to the Focus TV1 network. We finna get out of here. Until the next time, it's gonna be lovely. You'll see me on the Countdown Show and on True Facts and a couple more that I'm gonna be hosting. But like I said, I'm gonna give this back to Jwritezz next weekend. He's gonna be live and direct with my man's Tim Campbell from LA, from the Los Angeles area. Legendary. Wait till y'all gotta check it out. Make sure you tune in. It's a gem, y'all. If you don't tune in, you're gonna miss out. You don't want to miss out. So most definitely 5280 JB, salute. Most definitely.
I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Like I said, we got more coming up. We're gonna get the cameras on you and everything else. Gonna have you hosting, kind of co-hosting on the show with me. You know, I'm gonna be in contact with you. But most definitely, I thank everybody for tuning in to the Focus TV1 network. It's your man Teflon, the Creator Taylor. And to the next, I'm out.
Locking the Glock, I'm cocking the shit. Hit the little bitch that send me a pic. She licking the tip at the back of the whip. She already know I'm as red as it gets. I'm taking a sip of the potion. I feel it already in your mouth.
Even in bad times, we never gave up. When we was outnumbered, ain't none of it phased us in the struggle.
Locking the Glock, I'm cocking the shit. Hit the little bitch that send me a pic. She licking the tip at the back of the whip. She already know I'm as red as it gets. I'm taking a sip of the potion. I feel it already in motion. They listen already done spoken. Roll up the sticky of smoking, yeah. Chasing the back, bitch, blowing that cash. No chasing the bitch, just smashing the pass. I'm over the gas, yeah, feeling so hot. Talk this shit, we can take it outside. With none of you haters, man, where would I be? None of you suckers can get it like me. Throwing the punches, I'm taking out teeth. Serving them lunches, I heard you want beef. Yeah, flexing on bitches, they talking about save me. All of my ex bitches saying they hate me. Better old chick, she wanna date me. Told